Here we go. We survived another week. It's been a long week. It feels like it should be at least Saturday or maybe even Sunday of next week. But, I think tonight's still only Wednesday since I see myself on the TV. I feel like Miss Marcia sometimes, though. Y'all have invited me in your house, and I see little Billy and little Tommy. And I'm not going to sing happy birthday to anybody, though, so you can get that out of your mind. Welcome to Motorin with the Doc. It's a TV show about the local car scene in the Chattanooga area, Chattanooga, North Georgia. I get up into Cleveland some on about the fourth Saturday of the month. It's about that. It's also about local businesses. I have been a local business before. I had a shop over in Red Bank for a little while, and I know how hard of a struggle it is to get your name out there. So I'm all for promoting the little guy, and I also try to promote jobs that you can do and not have to have a degree. You can be a mechanic, you can be a plumber, you can be a welder, and some of those jobs are just great money. If you want to be a welder, if you learn how to be an underwater welder, oh my gosh, you can write your own check. If I'm not mistaken, Troy Petco, the gentleman from Georgia Northwestern, was here, and he was a commercial diver, and he was talking about that. That was not bad money that he made. And you can specialize even in the mechanic field, and I know a lot about the mechanic field because that's what I have done for 30-something years. If I was going to tell a kid today that was going into the mechanic field, I would tell him to specialize in automatic transmissions, learn how to build those. That's something that a lot of people nowadays don't know how to do. They've not done it for years. It's a really good. You can make a really good living just rebuilding automatic transmissions. There's only a few places in town that'll build them. There's a lot of people that will sell you one. A Jasper rebuild and I'm not knocking Jasper. Jasper has a quality product, and they have a wonderful warranty. I stuck a whole lot of Jasper transmissions and engines in cars over the years, and have not had any problems with their warranty. They stand behind their product. They make a good product, and it's a wonderful thing. I was excited last week to have Cotton Perry on. That was one of my bucket lists, I guess. I have gotten lots of feedback that everybody has enjoyed Cotton being on here. It was just a really good thing, and I hope it came through on what a genuinely nice person Cotton is. He stops and he'll talk to people, and he'll make you feel comfortable. Let me get this out of the way too. I told one of the guys at work I would do this. He's a biker. I used to be a biker guy, and I sold mine a few weeks ago. So now I'm a Jeep, Mustang, and MG, and Honda Civic, and GMC Sierra pickup truck kind of guy. So, but this is it's the 5th annual Tennessee Valley Veterans Benefits Ride, dedicated to those who've served. It's Saturday, October the 6th, at Anchor of Hope Baptist Church, 2613 Lakeview Drive, Rossville, Georgia. The proceeds go to Fisher House, Ringgold's Cross and Flags Funds. Let me just stop on that one for a second. The Ringgold Cross and Flags, that's the things you see up twice a year now on Veterans Day and I think Memorial Day. The flags through town. If that doesn't make you proud of your hometown, I don't know what would. It's such an honor to have served and see how my hometown honors the ones who have gone before us that have served our country. And another thing they have on here is Wreaths Across America. If you don't know what that is a charity that at Christmas time they go to the national cemeteries and they put wreaths out on the graves. And I had the honor last year. Some of you may know this and some of you may not. I played trumpet when I was growing up through high school. And my dad was a bugler, and my dad has a mural at Quantico at the Marine Museum of him playing taps during the Korean War, and I'm very proud of that. I've got a picture of me and my son in front of that. But anyway, I was at the National Cemetery doing a funeral for a friend's dad the day they were putting out wreaths for Wreaths Across America. And the turnout for it was amazing. And I'm not complaining. It took me 20 minutes to get from the gate to where I needed to be to play taps at this gentleman's funeral. But you know, these people need help too. So, you know, if you're gonna, this would be a good thing, and it also helps local veterans' needs. You know, you can, there's a website you can go to, tvbenefitride.webs.com. You can go to that and register or get information if you want to ride. I think they're going to do a ride through the National Cemetery, as a matter of fact, and you know, the National Cemetery, I hate to see it fill up as fast as it does, you know, these past, and maybe it's because I'm getting older, these past few years, anytime you drive by, they've got an open grave, you know, and the sections are just filling up so quick, and it will be filled pretty soon. It's filling up a whole lot quicker than I ever thought it would. And then they'll go down to Canton. I get emails, I could spend just about every Monday down at Canton playing taps for military funerals they have down there. So, but this would be a good thing. Like I say, it's the 5th annual Tennessee Valley Veterans Benefits Ride, and it's going to be on October 6th. We're going to get to the tool of the week, and this is one of the things I can remember when I was in the military. We had one of these, and they were thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. They told us if we broke one, we were in so much trouble we'd be peeling potatoes for weeks. This is a camera. This, as you can see, this is my finger, and this is how small it is. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 8 millimeters across, or 5/16. It's a camera that you can stick in places, engine compartments. If you got a spark plug, that's, you know, you think there's something going on inside that hole, you can stick this in here and look in the hole. It's got a little 3.5-inch LED screen. And you know, this light, let's see if I can see how to do this. It gets brighter and brighter, and then it'll go out too. So, you know, if it's too much. It also has a magnification on the screen. You know, this screen right here, like I say, it does a pretty good job. But if you're old like me and can't see, it does have a port here that you can stick a video piece to, and it'll come up on a screen big enough where you can see it. You know, because a lot of times you need to be able to see things better than you can. So that one cost about $150, maybe $175. They've got them at Harbor Freight. The tips aren't as small. They're probably as big around as my thumb, so they won't go in some as good of places. They're less expensive than this one is. I needed one with that small tip is the reason I have this one. I also do have one of the Harbor Freights, and it works fine. There again, for my home use. For what I need it to do, it does wonderful. One more thing, you know, we do have our AutoZone gift card, and I have just gotten so lucky. I don't know how this has happened, but I am ecstatic that it has. The first person that won was a woman. The second person that won was a senior in high school, you know, so not a kid, but he's not an old man. The second one was a guy who's had moved down here from up north, who was a wonderful guy. This guy, and I'm going to hang on to it, he's supposed to call at 7:15, but you will not believe where he is from. I am so excited that this show is getting out that far. The only thing that would have made it better was if it would have been somebody in the military overseas, you know, in Germany or someplace where they don't have AutoZones probably, but, you know, he would have still won a gift card. We're going to run our first video right now. I was let me think of where I was at. I was at Cambridge Square when I did these two. Like I say, Monday night's a good night to go out to Cambridge Square if you like cars. You can bring your wife. There's shopping to do there. There's food to eat there. There's probably 6 or 8 restaurants there, just right within the walking distance almost to eat. Let's run this first video and we'll go on from there. Dempsey.
Well, this is a 1931 Ford Model A Deluxe Roadster. What makes a Deluxe Roadster is you have 2 dual side spare wheels and tires on there, and that separates it or distinguishes it from it. I've had the car, it's been in the family for almost 15 years, and I've personally had it in my garage for the last 3, so we've done a few things. Powder coated the wheels, brought them back to the original period correct color vermilion. We've actually just went through the brake system. We left it mechanical, but with that, that took a lot of man out. But we took it all the way down the axles and brought that back. We've done some things for safety.
Sure.
Put blinkers on it. Younger generation doesn't know what the arm signals are much anymore. So we did that.
Yeah.
We took the generator off, left the 6-volt system, but put an alternator in just for convenience. The furthest in a day is about 118 miles. Got rode around, we took the back roads, went over to the Blue Ridge area, made a huge loop. And it's a driver, you know. This is not a trailer queen by any means. We've kept it up, you know. It's just a really nice driver, and that's what we want to do. I wanted to have the experience of how cars were driven in the early
days.
Yeah, because you don't have a sync transmission, and so it does have. It's got a flathead fork. It is the original engine to the car. It has about 54, 55 horsepower. It's geared very low. Of course, three speed. Yeah, 3-speed. So by the time you hit 20 miles an hour, you're already in third gear. But it'll top in. This thing will cruise about 45, 50. I get 55 miles an hour. It's very smooth. Cool. Especially on the roads of today.
So now what's your name?
Brandon Jenkins.
Brandon Jenkins.
Yep.
And what have you got here?
It's a 1971 Ford Bronco.
A 71 Ford Bronco.
Yep. We put a 3.5-inch lift on it, replaced a bunch of metal. There was a lot of rusted out metal. Floorboards, driver post, quite a bit.
What
it
start
is
out
not a Roadster.
Okay.
This is a U15. It's got the Roadster inserts. I've got a soft top that we put on in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And we went back with the Mallard Green, factory Ford Green.
Yeah.
And that's about it, I guess.
What do you got under the hood?
It's a 302, a little mild built, 40 over.
Just something to
cruise around in. 5-speed transmission, have a later model. Jeep.
Yeah.
I've had this one since probably 2010.
Okay.
And my dad, he's got a few of them.
Oh yeah.
We're doing a frame off on one for him right now.
Really?
I actually stole the motor for this one out of his, but
he don't know it.
Oh, he knows it, but it was sitting there unused. So.
Yeah.
All right, I did tell a little lie. That first one was from the Ringold Cruse-in this past weekend, the little Roadster. And that was a beautiful car, you know. Right now, I have on the phone Steve Ackard. He is our winner this week for the AutoZone $25 gift card. Good evening, Steve. How are you?
I'm just fine.
I am so excited about you winning this card. As I say, the only thing that would have made it better is if some military person overseas would have won. Tell us where you're at right now.
Well, I am in Abilene, Texas.
Abilene, Texas. I am getting out there, folks. I'm telling you, I am nationwide. I cannot believe this. Now, I ran this on the Hot Rod Power Tour. I asked the question on the Hot Rod Power Tour group, and that's how you entered, correct?
Right. Yeah, I've been following that. I'm planning on going this coming year if I can.
What have you got that you're going to take?
Well, that's interesting because I just sold a 68 C10 that I've been working on. I got a wild hair and decided to see if anybody'd buy it, and they did.
Yeah, it's funny how when you put it up for sale, people will buy it. Unless you don't want to sell it, then, you know, or you want to sell it, then nobody buys it, so.
Yeah, but I've owned a 98 short wide bed GMC since it was brand new.
Yeah.
And it's my little hot rod now, so that's what I plan on taking.
What have you done to it?
I've lowered it 2 inches in the front, 4 in the back. Put a cold induction in it. It's just a little V6. It's a cruiser.
Yeah. Something you can enjoy.
I'm sorry I lost you.
Something you can enjoy. Something you can take out and ride around in and have a good time.
Right, yeah. It's not a race car, so it looks like it goes fast. So.
And 90% of the looks is the best part, so yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I had this thing about SS insignia, so I put SS on it, and everybody asked me if it's a true SS.
Yeah. Has it got a 454 in it? Yeah, that's what they asked.
And I said, no. I said, but if you know anything about trucks, you know that GMC didn't make an SS.
That's true.
So, but I just like it. It needed something on the side of it, so that's what I put on it.
Yeah, I need something to break it up. You know, if you get too much,
Yeah.
it just looks flat, and it needs something.
Right. Yeah. It's packed. It's a neat little truck, and I've had it since it was brand new.
So that's good. And you know, judging by your Facebook page, you're a truck guy, from what I could tell. You're really into trucks.
I am a truck guy, but if I was going to buy anything, it'd be a 32 coupe. So.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm kind of partial to any kind of car, but to C10s and 32 coupes. So.
Well, good. What's the weather like in Abilene right now?
Well, it's about 80-something degrees. We've had quite a bit of rain the last week or so.
Yeah.
But it's really nice right now. So.
Well, that's good. And like I say, I appreciate you entering the contest. I will get this in the mail, and you will have a $25 AutoZone gift certificate. And I thank you for calling, sir.
You bet. I appreciate you.
You have a good week.
You too.
Take care.
See you later.
See, guys, it's just that easy, you know. And the question wasn't super hard. It was, what does the Ford Mustang and the Chrysler minivan have in common? Lee Iacocca, he's the one who came up with them both. He was a genius. You know, I watched, you know, a show, Cars That Made America, one time, and they talked about Iacocca, and I think the reason he left Ford was because they did a photo shoot of the Mustang, and he was in the picture, and the executives didn't like it. They said, you know, this needs to be about the cars, not the designers. You know, y'all need to step back and let them take that. Tonight, I do have a guest in, and he's going to be on here in just a few minutes. His name is Jamie Wheeler, and make sure I get this right. He has Classic Auto Trim, and we'll get the address and phone number, and we've got some pictures of his work that he has done, and what he, you know, things he started with and made them into nice stuff. We were discussing that a few minutes ago. To him, I just put a seat together. You know, it wasn't anything special. But to the person who's getting that seat, they're like, "Oh my gosh, that thing looks like gold." You know, it's wonderful. If you got a good upholstery guy that can make it look like nothing's ever been done, that's a pretty good thing right there. You know, they know what they're doing. But before we do that, we're going to run one more video. This first video is Randy, that works at the water company that Virginia always talks about. He's got a 69 Camaro that is absolutely gorgeous. My wife always talks about the seats that are in this thing. It has the houndstooth seats. There's no talking in this first part of it because I couldn't get Randy to talk. And anybody that knows Randy will go, "You're lying now." You know, they tried to get Ronnie Ross to talk in Randy's place, but I wouldn't take that. So, as I say, you're not going deaf on the first one. It's just I couldn't get Randy to talk. So, but when we come back, we'll have Jamie on here and we'll talk upholstery. Let's run this next video.
Now, what's your name?
Chad Pickering.
And what do we have here?
This is a 1975 Toyota FJ40 Land Cruiser. Say it's a Jeep, but it's not a Jeep. I said, "What's it say on there?" I've had it about 15 years.
Did it look like this when you got it?
No. It was in bad shape. Brakes didn't work. It cranked up. There's several different things was wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
I wound up having to change the head gaskets because it being a 400 small block.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize it takes a different head gasket.
It does.
So
They got steam holes in them.
Oh yeah. Well, I found that out the hard way. course, over time, you know, you learn a lot of things about it. But I think I've got everything working great on it. Put a different radiator in it with electric fan. It keeps it nice and cool. I drove it to Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg, and did fine. And it's a good running little FJ40. It's got a V8 in it. 350
turbo 350. Now, who did the interior?
Russell Bickle. He did a lot of the interior. I did the Dynamat. You know how you get that sound deadener? And heat dissipative stuff. Put the Dynamat all through it. It had that Rhino liner in it. So I put the Dynamat on top of that. And it does really, the suspension is raised, but it's raised with, I think you get it from Spectre Off-Road. It's they supply a lot of stuff for FJ40s only. This one kind of makes it even all the way around. Now on the back end, it's got an aftermarket tailgate that normally they come with half ambulance doors and with a hatchback. I think the 74s did. So carried over with the 74 with the hatchback, and then instead of the ambulance doors, put an aftermarket tailgate. So got aluminum in it. It's got a compartment in it, and the struts are original, but inside the struts are gas shocks. It makes it a lot better. Even though it looks original, it works like a new vehicle. And the seat is not the original type of seat. Normally they had the side seats that come in. This is not a jump seat. This is a regular with seat belts.
Okay. What's your name?
My name's Mike Edson.
Mike Edson?
Yep. I got a 68 Mustang. My brother bought it new in 68. He passed away when he was 20 from complications of diabetes. And my parents gave it to me. I drove it to high school. Met my wife in it.
I was going to say, you probably dated in this car, didn't you?
Yep. Met my wife in it, cruising Shoney's.
On Brainerd Road?
And Lehigh, and Rossville, yeah. So been showing it a little bit every now and then, so we enjoy it. It's a 347 crate motor. It's which is a 5.0 that's been bored 30 over, and stroked from 3 to 3.4.
Okay, so almost 3.5 inches.
Yeah, it's got 419 horsepower. And I put a 5-speed in it, Tremec 5-speed. It runs pretty good. I got 68 Shelby wheels.
Okay.
Yep. The rear springs are from a 428, a little bit different. Put air conditioner on it. It's got electric power steering. And what you do is you take your steering column and you cut it. The little motor goes on that. And it just turns when you turn your steering wheel. It's easy. So I replaced everything on the car about 2 years ago. Everything mechanical.
I've thought about building one of those engines for her car.
And I put about 5,000 miles on it since then, so I drive it some. Well,
but I have to keep telling myself it's her car, it's not my car. So
a couple years ago, I went down to the turkey run down there. I actually got to drive around the track.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun. But they wouldn't let us get over about 35
I was going to say, they probably won't let you turn it loose on the...
No, we got up on the front stretch, but they wouldn't let us get on the thing. It was fun. It was something, kind of a bucket list.
So I just don't understand why Randy wouldn't talk to me. I'm such a likable guy. We have Jamie Wheeler from
Ringgold, Georgia.
And your shop's name is?
Classic Auto Trim.
Classic Auto Trim. And where are you located at? I'm going to get this all out. That way she won't kill us when we're done.
273 Mason Drive, Ringgold, Georgia.
Say that one more time.
273.
273 Mason Drive.
Yes. Ringgold, Georgia.
Ringgold, Georgia. So you're that way or that way?
That way.
That way. Okay. He's in Ringgold, I guess. And I'll tell y'all people, you never know how I'm going to get hold of you. He entered one of the I think it was the first contest we did on Motorin with the Doc for a $25 gift card. And so I was scrolling through, because I check on y'all, don't think you're getting away with anything. He entered, and so I'm always looking for somebody to have on the show. Well, he has an upholstery shop. Well, guess what you don't need to do upholstery work? You don't have to have a degree. You can make a good living doing upholstery work. And you've said you've done this about 25 years.
Yes.
You don't look 25 to me, but you must have been 3 when you started. You make me feel so old now. Oh my gosh.
I'm lower than 25.
So you've done this in the area. How long have you had your own shop?
Probably the past 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing about people who don't have a degree. A lot of times you can work for yourself. You don't have to be chained to a desk. You don't have, and we were talking during one of the breaks. A lot of these people that have degrees, they're walking dogs, they're answering telephones, they're not using their degree. And I can tell you that student loan, doesn't matter whether you're working your career field or not, it comes once a month. You got to make that payment. So we're thinking this is going to work. Let's run these first two pictures we got here and see. We'll talk about what's going on. If this all works. If it doesn't, we'll talk without it. So, well, that's kind of a little closer than I thought it was going to be. I hope all of them are going to be this way. That's an old rusty seat frame. Just a bare seat frame. And I bet if somebody brings you that, you can probably
I can fix it.
Put some burlap around it, put some foam in.
Foam it and recover it.
Let's go to the next picture. Hopefully it's not quite as big. Yep, there's a Terrian one. This is going to be an interesting. and I made the statement, if everything goes wrong, nobody's going to die. So we're not going to die. This is, that looks like a GM seat if I was just guessing by the material. What, am I close?
That one I believe was a Ford seat.
Is it?
Yep.
Well, maybe it is. I was going by there we go. Now we're better.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
There, that's the whole seat now. Now, they can bring you that.
Right.
And his wife, and I forgot her name because I'm old. What's her name? Jessica. Yeah, there we go. That's the seat frame. He was kidding. He said, she's my marketing director now. And she goes, did you take a picture of that? No, it's just an old seat. If you brought a seat in that looked like that and was fixed when it was done, you would be the happiest person on earth. Okay, you can come back to us now, and we'll run with these others here in just a second. Yeah, because, and I'm telling you, I have always been fascinated by upholstery work. It's like, if I could only do that, that's another thing that I would just really love, just to learn to do. Right. I like to learn to do little things, and that's one of the things I like to do. Now, you can do factory repairs on stuff.
I can do your everyday cars, your late models, just small repairs, just inserts, just.
Now explain an insert, because
the insert's basically the area you're just sitting in. If it tears up, we can replace just that
piece.
You don't have to redo the whole thing.
And like where people get in and out, I work with the police department day in and day out, and I can tell you, theirs wear out. Let me get my right hand right here, where their gun is all the time. The bolsters will wear out. Y'all can replace that.
Yeah, just replace that one bolster there.
And a lot of people think, well, I can't have that fixed. That's going to cost me $3,000 to have that done.
Small repairs are not bad.
No, y'all would be surprised at how reasonable you can have a nice seat. We've got a Jeep that I guess we'll probably come to see you sometime soon. We've got a 93 Jeep, and when you get in and out of the seat, just where your butt drags across it, it's just wore out. And that's probably a common thing on those, because the way you have to get in and out of a Jeep. There's not a good way. There's not an attractive way to get in and out of a Jeep, But yeah, I can take that over there. You'll panel it, and the seat's as good as new.
Right.
Nobody will ever know. Unless they're looking just like, oh my gosh, well this thread doesn't exactly match this one. But most of the time,
you're not gonna notice.
Yeah, from what I have seen of your work, just on the pictures I have seen, you do wonderful work. Let's run to this next set of pictures we've got on here, and I'll have you tell us what is going on.
These here is where I'm doing some diamond pleats, and that's where I just laid everything out.
Now you do it in chalk, right?
I use like the grease pencil.
Okay.
Lay all the diamonds and all out, then you glue it up on the foam.
Mm-hmm. I think go to the next picture. I think that's the one that's, yeah.
Yep, and then that's where they are stitched up.
Mm-hmm.
So you start out with just your
flat sheet.
Piece of leather, vinyl, then you lay all the diamonds out, then you go back and glue it on the foam and then sew them all up.
Mm-hmm. And that's what gives you the poofiness, I guess, would be the technical term for that, right? All right, let's move to the next picture. And now you've attached them.
Yeah, that's the insert part of a bench seat.
The gray part is the insert that you were talking about just a minute ago, right?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, let's go to the next one. And that's what it looks like done.
That's finished.
You know, and you probably think, well, that looks okay. But everybody else goes, man, that looks great. You know, I wished I could, have that done in my car, Go to the next picture real quick. And there's the front seats. And you can just look at that and tell it's quality. Now, did you have to do the armrests? And
I've done the armrest and all on that one.
So if somebody brings you a truck and wants, if somebody brings you a truck with cloth seats and they want leather, you can do it all.
Change it out,
Yeah. All right, come back to us. We'll chat for a few more minutes now. What about carpet work?
Carpet, do carpet, headliners, all your street rods, muscle cars. If you bring me a car that's completely gutted on the inside, I can build and do whatever you need to.
Okay. And you said headliners. I don't use you for work, but we had one that we picked up today. And if you want to know something that's annoying, is a headliner that does this while you're driving down the road. It's like, and I have seen thumbtacks, I have seen super glue, and it's usually a full car headliner, just kind of, and we're not saying this is exactly how much it's going to cost, but what does that normally run?
Headliners, they'll start from $150 and go up from there.
$150. It's worth $150 not to be driving down the road like this, going, oh God, that's driving me nuts, because it does. It's always rubbing your head. I remember I had to drive this truck up last Friday, and it's like, oh God, I hope they get this fixed. Because, like I say, if somebody just brings you just a complete strip or nothing on the inside, you can door panel cards.
Do it all.
What was it? The Boyd Coddington show used to have Gabe's, I think, was the his go-to guy, and you could probably do just about anything Gabe could do. Convertible tops, y'all. Do convertible tops too. Boats. That's another big one. Now, if you want to see something, boats. There's a lot of stuff that goes into making a boat.
Yeah, there's a lot to a boat.
The thread, it's just a hard weather item. They'll wear out quick, or not quick, but when they start going, they go.
Yeah.
And you can probably do like jet ski seats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's out in the weather a lot that you need to have done. Let's run some more pictures here real quick. And you would probably say, that's just a regular old gray bench seat, But if you've got a dump truck and you've been sitting on a bucket or, one of these cushions, that was a stool cushion or something, and you bring that back in, that's a work of art, I can assure you.
Yeah, that was the gray one, or the green one a minute ago that was all tore up, just the bottom section.
So, if I'd known that, I would have put them together, The one that looked so ratty that I thought was a GM that was a Ford, that's the finished product. And like I say, if you're in just a work truck, you have just made that man so happy because, the other one they probably had a blanket or something they sat on, or a towel or something, so they wouldn't get the foam all over them when they did it. Let's go to the next picture here. I'm telling you, my technical people, they are on it. I cannot. Look at that. Now we got a red bench seat.
That's a leather seat that was in that 62 Biscayne wagon.
Oh, okay. And we'll get to the Biscayne wagon here in a minute. I got out of order on putting my pictures in. I get that way. I'm kind of ADD. So that's a red leather interior. And you probably did door panels and everything out of leather too, didn't you?
Door panels and all was out of leather.
And leather looks so good when it's done right, Let's go to the next one. And I think it's a dark gray. What's this?
That's a Chevrolet C10 truck seat.
Just like out of an 85, 86?
Yeah. Square body.
I believe I had one of those at one time. It's the reason it kind of looked familiar. And I had the problem of getting in and out of it, how the seat will break down. Yeah. And that, that's another thing. If your seat's broken down, you can probably
I can repair it and build
do
it
some
back
welding.
Yeah.
and get it back up to where it's comfortable and support you better.
Yeah, I can weld your frame back up, add foam, build your support back up.
And how many hours do you spend in a car? You need to think about how far you drive, and if you've got back problems, maybe you need to look at your car. People spend all this money on a mattress to sleep on for 8 hours, but you're in and out of that car a whole lot more than you are that bed. And why not take care of yourself a little bit and spend some money on that? All right, let's go to the next picture here. Now, do they call that a French stitch?
Yes.
And I think that looks so good. I mean, it just looks really classy. The pinstripes. It could be one thing about it,
Yeah.
And is that stitch stronger than just a regular?
It's stronger, and a lot of it's just the appearance.
The decorative. You'll see a lot of high-end cars, Ferraris and stuff,
Right.
With that kind of stitch work on it. All right, come back to us, and we'll talk for a little more. What car have you done that you're most proud of? And I'm sure that's probably like asking which one of your kids is your favorite, I didn't ask him which kid was his favorite. I said it's just like asking.
I won't answer that one. Favorite car? Really, I can't think of really a favorite.
Which one has been the most challenging? Which one has just really been a headache that you were most proud of, I guess, when you are maybe glad to see it was going when you were done with it?
A lot of them, the ones that have the diamond
pleats in
it, that's the most tedious and time consuming to make sure all your points
end up in
the same place.
Everything has to look.
Yeah, if you get them off for just a little bit, it looks terrible.
Yeah,
it's real time consuming.
And there again, you're probably like me. If when I'm finished doing something, I'm my worst critic. Everybody else will go, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Terrible.
And it's like, look at that. That's about 2 millimeters off. I could have drove a truck through that. I can't believe.
Oh yeah, I mean, just looking at the diamonds, if one row of them's a 16th off, I mean, I can see it, and Jessica will look at it and like, you're crazy.
What are you talking about?
I don't see anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm terrible.
How long, if somebody, and I'm sure, like on a street rod or something, it's probably best if they drop it off and you just work it in.
I've got now where I'll schedule. You'll come in, I'll give you an estimate, get your supplies ordered, and have you bring it in on a certain date. Normally a full resto on one, 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how much
you got.
How much custom work you want done. If you want custom armrest, console, and all that.
And you said you were just mentioning the console. Now I've seen people make those out of MDF
Make
board.
it MDF. You can build them out of that and fiberglass them from there. Like I said, there's just a wide range that you can do.
Anything you can imagine.
Oh yeah, it can be done.
It can be done. I'm not an artist, but I bet if somebody got a pencil and drew some stuff out, you could go, yeah, we can probably work that in.
Yeah.
Well, I've just gone blank, and that happens on live TV every once in a while. See, but nobody has died. That's right. He thought it was going to be him.
So far, so good.
Now, how did you get into this?
My dad.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Did he have a shop around here, or is it one?
He had a shop on Ross Boulevard for several years, and he got out of it, and I took it over from there, and then I just ended up moving it to my house. And just doing it from there. And keeping it a little bit smaller scale so I can focus on the street rods and muscle cars and what I enjoy doing.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't enjoy it, it's a job then,
Oh, yeah.
And work's a 4-letter word. I don't care who you are, if you can really enjoy what you do, you don't mind getting up in the morning and doing your thing. And how old were you when you started helping your dad with this stuff? Because I can remember my son when he was about 2, he would come to the shop when I had it, and I'd give him a wrench, and he'd be gone for hours. I had a motor just sitting in the corner, and he'd be playing on it.
I've been around cars my whole life, and then probably actually helping him probably 13.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah. So you got some experience, because I'd say he's probably 30 now. So there you go.
Right, 30, 35.
His wife, she's probably just barely legal. I don't understand this.
I looked up there.
Yeah, sure. I tell everybody I outkick my coverage on her, my wife. And she will not get on this side of the TV camera. And they keep threatening back in the technical area. We're going to sneak her on one day. You just keep watching. I haven't told her that she has been on one or two background shots when there's cars. Oh, see, I shouldn't have said anything about that. And every once in a while you can hear her laugh. I'll get her laughing. And, the guy I work with goes, I think I heard her pig snort. I'm not really sure. But so now I think you told me a minute ago that I did get your Suburban in one of the shots.
Yeah, it was the St. Jude's car show
at the Colonnade. That was a pretty big show. I mean, there's about 150 cars there.
There was. It was a good turnout.
And like I say, it's a good cause, and that's all it really takes for these car guys to get together is, well, there's three of us here. Let's figure out something we can give some money to, and you got a car show. Next thing you know. Now, what about high-end cars? What have you? Have you had to work on any of those? Because I don't work on I try to stay away from BMWs and.
I work on the BMWs, the Lexus. Whatever you got, I'll work.
It doesn't matter, and I know just from the guy that I use, y'all got a catalog of materials, that you can go through, so you'll match it up, so it will be what the factory came out with. Right. Like say, if you're doing a panel patch. You won't know that anything's ever been done. No. Other than there's not a tear there when you get it back. Right. I think what happened to my truck, I was telling him that he needs to look at that before he leaves too. I think somebody had a screwdriver or something in their pocket and it went through the seat bottom. I'm like, but that, I've had it for 5 years and I keep going, I'll have that fixed sometime. I'll have that fixed sometime. Well, sometime they need to come up and get it done because. And this is what, going back to what I was talking about earlier about stuff wearing out. We've got a truck at work that's similar to the one I have that's my personal truck. And getting from one truck to the next, I feel that the foam in my seat has compressed.
Yeah, broke down.
It's broke down, And you'd be amazed if your car's probably, 12, 13 years old. It's probably, depending on how many miles you got in and the heat and everything, it probably breaks down. And it's probably a good idea. You'd probably be surprised at how much more comfortable your seat is if you'd have it refoamed. And if there's nothing wrong with your seat cover, can you just go in and refoam?
Yeah, you can pull the cover and just refoam.
And I think you can wash the covers too while you got them off. Mm-hmm. Just throw them in the washing machine.
Well, you can do them that way, or with just pressure washer, or something like that.
But and if you have it refoamed, like I say, your seat will be so much more comfortable, and you're not going to spend crazy money. Doing that. It's not like having a $4,000 upholstery job done. It's reasonable. Like I say, it won't break you to have that stuff done. So, all right, let me go to this next picture here. We've got the leather seat. This is what the red leather seat went in, this Biscayne. That's a beautiful car right there.
That was a nice little car.
What's it got? Can you tell us anything about it? What's it got in it?
It was on air ride. It had an LS swap with a 6-speed manual.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's just my dream right there. The Cadillac CTSV with the 6-speed station wagon. Oh, I would just like to go blister some Corvettes with that thing. Yeah, I got beat by a station wagon.
And it had a good size cam in it.
Yep.
Aftermarket intake.
Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of cars you'll see at these car shows. And this gentleman right here will make your car look good if you have one of those cars. You'll get some awards. Go to the next one. We'll look at the back of the Biscayne here. Now the side panels going down the sides, are they covered also?
They're wrapped in leather.
Leather wrapped. Look at the red carpet in there. It just, if you want to talk about rolling out the red carpet, and then you can see the tailgate it looks like it's got a leather panel on it also.
Yes.
That's pleated.
On the doors too.
As I say, y'all guys just fascinate me to, okay, if I do this, it's going to make it do this. And then if I put a little heat here, it'll bring this pucker out. And, it's like, how do you know all this stuff? I just am in awe sometimes watching y'all. Okay, come back to us. So you're a car guy. Now, tell us what you've got. I know your wife's got an MGB because we've been talking bad about him here just a few minutes ago. And if anybody's wanting to buy an MGB, if you'll talk to my wife, she will set you up in one cheap. And I think if you talk to his wife, she'll set you up in one cheap.
Very possible.
If you'll call and ask for Mrs. Doc, she will sell you an orange one. And what color is yours?
Black.
She's got a black one, so you got colors here.
Many choices.
But anyway, what kind of cars do y'all have?
We have it, and then we have a 72 Chevrolet Suburban.
Mm-hmm. It's white and blue, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, white and blue.
It made an impression when I walked past it at the...
It's crazy, the looks and stuff.
I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's only got 3 doors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Suburbans, back in the day, you had 2 passenger side doors and 1 driver's side door.
Right.
And I used to know the reason they did that, but I can't tell you anymore.
Somebody told me where you used to, like when you go downtown and all, you wasn't supposed to get out on the
driver's side. And that makes sense.
You'd have to slide over and get out, so they just put that door.
And I think it was probably the older ones had a wooden floor in the back.
Mine does.
Yours does?
Yeah.
Did it come that way?
Yes.
See? Yeah. I know more than I thought I knew. Yeah.
But it's neat. We drove to Atlanta a couple of weeks ago.
Really?
Caffeine and octane they had down there.
Now, speaking of that, I have heard Cars and Coffee in, I think it's Knoxville. It's crazy. I've heard 6,000 cars are there.
Atlanta was crazy. We
really
couldn't believe. Yeah, how many cars would you say? Yeah.
And if you don't know what 2,500 cars are or 6,000 cars are, all you're doing is walking. You ain't got time to stop and look at anything. You're just going, that's a neat car. That's a neat car.
Yeah, it was slam packed.
Yeah. Now, where did they do it in Atlanta?
It's at the Perimeter Mall.
Okay.
It was a good show down there. So we got that Suburban, and then we've got a 67 Chevy 2. And then just our daily drivers. We got a newer model 2014 4-door truck.
Yeah.
I had to lower it, put wheels and tires.
Of course, But
if
he's like me, he's probably not done anything in the interior. It works. Why should I mess with it?
Interior just like it was.
Yeah, and it's comfortable. That's the thing about it. Why mess with something that's working for you right now? And I can tell you, a mechanic and probably an upholstery guy, the car that he hates working on the most is his own, because you don't get paid for that stuff. It's like,
when you get to the end of the day and you've been working on everybody else's. You're done.
Yeah. It's the plumber. He's always got the leaky pipes and the stuff like that. Let's go to these last 3 pictures we got here. Now, this is a little coupe you've done.
I finished it last week.
It's a beautiful car. Let's go to the next picture. This is the trunk. And you've made the trunk panels, and it's got the diamond plate around the edges, and it carries all the way through. Now, what's on the deck lid itself, the trunk lid?
It's wrapped in the same color vinyls you see on the side there.
The side, okay. And like I say, it looks like a wonderful job that you have done. I am, just by these pictures, when I was loading them up this week, I was like, man, that's some quality work right there.
Thank you.
Go to the next picture here real quick. And that's the seat out of it. More of the diamond plate. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I bet he goes, it looks okay, but it's not anything special.
Right.
That's special looking, it goes with the whole package,
Right.
Yeah. She was just saying the whole inside's wrapped with is it the same color as the...
Same colors.
As the dark on the seat? Or the light? The dark.
And I done the headliner in the diamond color.
In the diamond, is it diamond pleated also?
Not the headliner.
It's just the lighter gray. And did you do the carpet also?
Carpet also.
I'm just assuming you did the whole interior now that I've asked about everything else. I didn't put the steering wheel on it, but everything else.
Well, I actually wrapped the steering
wheel. And you probably made the shifter boot too, didn't you?
No, it was.
Oh, it was there. I got one right.
I can't take credit for that.
Okay, come back to us then. So, and you know, you say the leather wrapped steering wheel. I know a lot of the later model vehicles have a leather wrapped steering wheel, and the oils in your skin will break it down.
It will.
And you know, it'll come off in just pieces, you know.
Right.
So they could bring you that, and you could.
Now, as far as the later model, I don't do a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
That one there had just the actual ring
Yeah.
that you pulled off.
So it made it.
So that's just
Sure, okay.
I was wrapped in it.
Well, maybe he wouldn't do a newer one, but you know, for enough money, he probably would. So.
Yeah, enough money. I'll do that.
I would reupholster a giraffe if I had enough money. Just hold him still for a minute.
I have done a small airplane before.
Oh, really? Yeah. Now, airplane people are funny. It's all about weight with airplane people. You know, I've got a friend who paints, and if you think airplane people are funny, glider people, oh my gosh, they're crazy about. Yeah, it's all about weight with a glider because you know. That's what keeps them up is less weight, and they will take a paint gauge, and this is too thick. Y'all gotta, this gotta be redone.
Really?
Yeah. Because I mean, you hold a 5-gallon bucket of paint, and you think, well, that is some weight, and it all goes on that glider. So yeah. Well, I have enjoyed this. Like I say, give us your the 411 on how to get a hold of you, who you are, and you know. Give a plug in for your marketing director over there.
No, you can reach me at 423-834-5630. If I'm not able to answer the phone, please leave me a message and I'll call you back within 30 minutes.
A reasonable time.
Right. And I'm in Ringgold off Pine Grove Road, 273 Mason Drive, Ringgold, Georgia. Anything I can help y'all with, just let me know.
And don't forget the Facebook page. Your wife's over here. I've got your back, brother. The marketing director is over there speaking.
Look up Classic Auto Trim on Facebook and like it and share it. I appreciate it.
Thank you once again for coming on. It has been fun. Nobody died.
That's right.
We all survived. Everything didn't go smooth as silk, you know. Now y'all figured out, wow, the dock can mess up. So we are out of here. Watch me on Facebook Live, like it, tell all your friends. We'll be back here next week. Y'all have a good week.
At the Rosewood Assisted Living and Memory Care, we have everything your senior could want in a safe, comfortable residence. Several levels of services include short-term housing for weekends or longer, assisted living where the staff provides a watchful eye while preserving your loved one's privacy and